Robert McKim sent a text message to his boyfriend Richard Whittington. "Hey master, what are you doing today?" "Nothing. Why?" "Come over here. I got an amazing surprise to show you." "Okay." Richard Whittington began walking to Robert McKim's house. Robert McKim had a skinny body, black hair, white skin, beautiful blue eyes, and was 3 feet and 10 inches tall with a 2-inch long dick. He had a girly voice and no hair anywhere on his body except his head, eyebrows, and eyelashes. He was an extremely submissive, gay, emo, sissy, flamer, femboy, and loved it. Whenever he got called names like gay bitch or emo faggot, he would always respond by saying thanks for the compliment. He was actually proud of being called names like that. At age 17 he became so feminine that he couldn't bear to wear male clothes anymore and started wearing dresses, skirts, high heels, and other pretty girl clothes from then on. He thought that dicks and balls were some of the most beautiful, hot, and sexy things in the world, and he got tremendous pleasure from sucking on them. He even got accidentally caught once sucking on a banana for his own pleasure. He got enormous pleasure and satisfaction from being bossed, controlled, and dominated by other guys, and from obeying, serving, and pleasuring them, especially Richard Whittington. Robert McKim and Richard Whittington were in love. Richard Whittington had a slim body, blonde hair, white skin, green eyes, and was 6 feet and 1 inch tall with a 6-inch long dick. He was gay but also extremely dominant. Richard Whittington was like a king or a god from Robert McKim's perspective. Robert McKim did his homework for him occasionally and was proud of always being an obedient, loyal servant for him. The first time they had sex together, Robert McKim discovered he could have orgasms just from getting his butt fucked, and he continued to do it every single time after that. Not long after they started having sex, Robert McKim also discovered he could have orgasms just from getting his butt spanked or whipped enough. They both enjoyed making fun of the huge size difference between their dicks and having Richard Whittington dominate and humiliate Robert McKim for it. Richard Whittington would sometimes put a collar and a leash around Robert McKim's neck when they went out together, and sometimes make him bow down to him and kiss the top sides of his feet, and sometimes make him worship and praise him out loud like a god, and Robert McKim loved all of it. Robert McKim was sitting in his chair next to his desk when Richard Whittington walked into Robert McKim's bedroom and sat down on his bed, which was covered with a My Little Pony blanket and pillow. "Hey my bitch, so what's the amazing surprise you got?" "It's this." Robert McKim pointed to 18 injection syringes on his desk. "What's that?" "It's hormone replacement therapy. I finally got tired of being so short and decided to go to the doctor before I get too old to do anything about it." The doctor confirmed what I thought. "My body hasn't been making the hormones it's supposed to." So the doctor prescribed hormone replacement therapy to make up for it. Luckily the health insurance covered all of it. It was supposed to work instantly, but I didn't take it. I went back to the doctor the next day to check the results, and the doctor tripled my dosage because there was no results. I didn't take it again, so the next day the doctor tripled my dosage again, and tomorrow I'm going back for them to check the results again. By the way, I told them how I don't want to become too masculine because I'm a sub bitch, you know, so the doctor prescribed me just as much female hormones too. So what do you think? Cool who? Wow, that's awesome. I think you got way more than enough now. Go ahead and take them all. I love big bitches. Great. I was hoping you would say that. As I said before, it's supposed to work instantly, so I brought you over here to enjoy the show. Robert McKim then carefully injected all the syringes he got into his arm through and for. He was wearing another one of his slutty little outfits with only a pair of women's bikini panties around his waist for the special occasion. After he finished injecting himself with every single syringe, he took out the 4 and put a band-aid over the puncture wound. He stood in the middle of the room to give Richard Whittington a good view. "Hey, you're pitching a tent in there," Richard Whittington said. Robert McKim looked down and saw his rock-hard 2-inch dick poking out against his panties. He adjusted it so his dick was pointing straight up out of his panties instead. "It must be a side effect," Robert McKim said. "Oh wow, I think I can feel it working on me now." Robert McKim started playing a sexy song on his phone and set it down on the desk while he danced in front of Richard Whittington for his viewing pleasure. As he danced, Richard Whittington watched him grow from 3'10" to 4 feet tall. "That felt good," Robert McKim said and continued dancing. Richard Whittington saw Robert McKim's balls and dick instantly expand. His tiny tight sack pushed out against his panties a little more while his dick grew up out of them more from 2 to 3 inches long. "Whoa! Did your dick just grow?" Richard Whittington said. Robert McKim looked down at his crotch and said, "Wow, it did. And it felt good too." Robert McKim continued dancing. Richard Whittington watched him grow up from 4 feet to 4'5". He saw Robert McKim's butt protrude out slightly more. Then he saw his dick and balls expanding again. In a few seconds his dick grew from 3 to 4 inches long. "Oh yeah," Richard Whittington said. Robert McKim laughed in response and said, "So you like that? You like watching my tiny baby penis grow?" "Definitely." Robert McKim continued dancing. He grew up from 4'5" to 4'8". Richard Whittington saw his butt expand out a little more. He grew again from 4'8" to 5 feet tall.